They wouldn't for months answer my phone calls about this issue, but my psychiatrist quitting and my doctor was going to blow the whistle in my favor. Okay, today I broke 2 appointments with psychiatrists because of that letter. I said it's a conflict because Womack, more or less, I'm smart enough to know that he's going to come after me. And I don't want my wife or children to know that they found me floating down the Arkansas River about a mile from my house because of that. Sorry. But do you think they will deny me the right to visit and get supplies that I need and my medications?
No, no, I don't think that's going to be.
Can't happen.
Yeah, that's no, that's not going to be the issue. But a systematic, not showing up, no call, no show, will cause that. But did you call them and say? Okay, that's not a problem.
They
Go ahead.
have a problem with the VA system in here, and I know this for a fact, when you talk about, canceling whatever, when you call in and cancel for an appointment, they've only got 2 spots to put down. 1, no show, or 2, you showed up for the appointment. There is nowhere on there for them to put down, that you called and canceled the appointment.
Don't they take those calls, Steve?
That doesn't mean nothing to them.
I've actually looked at my VA record, y'all, and I'm not kidding, this is no joke. They've actually said that I had appointments, I actually showed up for them, and those appointments never even existed. Not only they didn't exist, I never showed up for them. They got me in the record going to appointments that never happened.
Oh yeah.
Cooking the books.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, I can tell you, I have 7 bad discs in my back. I don't really have that much cartilage, if any, below my waist. I've got gout, other arthritis, and I mean it's really bad. And the doctor, this is my doctor, who he said, well, I know how to take care of guys because I was an infantryman before I did anything, and so I've got you. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of you. 4 years from the first time I saw him, he gets over there and he opens up. He goes, "What are you taking all this medication for?" I said, "What do I know? You're the one that gave it to me." I said, "Yeah, I have high blood pressure. I have all these other things." He goes, "Well, okay, I'll just continue giving you that medication." And then they went back and recaptured like $975 for medications that they prescribed to me because it wasn't in my record. It's not service connected. One time I went to drill and I'm standing in drill and the commander walks out and he walks straight to my detachment, points at me and says, "You're going to the emergency room right now." I didn't realize I looked bad. And so one of my troops took me down to the emergency room at the VA, and all of a sudden I was before we got there, I started really feeling bad. And I had gone and looked into the mirror, and I was real grayish, and I had big circles around my eyes. And I sat in the emergency room from about 10 or 11 in the morning till about 7 o'clock at night. And when I got up to go use the restroom, because I really had to go use the restroom, the nurse said, "Oh, we can check him out now. He's recovered. He's stabilized." He went to the bathroom. I went home, and no joke, I was so weak the next day, I couldn't get out of bed. In fact, it took me 45 minutes to have some of the strength to get out of bed. I went to the bathroom, and it took me another, 30, 45 minutes to get off the toilet to where I could stand. I was like that for a few days until a good friend of mine, Cleo Decker, came and got me and took me over to his place so he could nurse me. Eventually, I kept having these spells. They thought I was having kidney failure. And so I had to I finally got it cleared up. We still don't know what it is. But I'm telling you right now, there's now an alert out from the VA that I probably was exposed to chemical weapons. Would have been exposed in 2003 and 2004. And they're just now breaking out with that.
I was in nukes and they don't acknowledge that I was.
Yeah.
Because DFB or Fort Smith told me, he said, if you've ever slept on a ship one night with nuclear weapons, you're exposed. You were exposed. But this fella here, that letter, he don't see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a veteran brother to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm not the only person that, I mean, I get it, every drill, I went to the VA and this, I went to the VA and that, because a lot of my guys know that I'm an activist. And, there's so much that if you could write it all down, that it's not written down, they know it's not written down, there's no paper trail.
Exactly.
They don't want that paper trail.
Did you have a comment, Clay?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. My father was several times the president of DAV down in Fort Smith. He talked about being terrified of speaking up. My father was, oh man. VA had him something like, what was it? I'm 40%, and he was less than me. But he couldn't walk. You know? Yeah, ankle replacement, all of this. My father, president of DAV, was absolutely, I mean, this guy, I thought he was going to wet his britches. Right there. He was so terrified. You know, what do we do? I'm serious. I hear we all are talking.
Yeah, the paperwork nowadays for the DAV to take your case is several pages. And they want to know everything. And a lot of the stuff I'm not even diagnosed for. Yes, Steve.
You have a claim, have a problem with a claim, come to me. It's easy, simple,
Yeah,
not a problem,
DAV's a joke.
okay? I will get you in the right direction, I will help you fill out the paperwork, I'll get the right paperwork to you. I do it with veterans all over the United States.
That's
But,
fact.
you know, you guys want something done with this VA, you want something done, you know, within your, you know, within the district and everything else, okay? Support me and help put me in, and I'll guarantee you, every one of you, plus, I will be working for every one of you. It's not my campaign, it's your campaign.
Thank you
So
for
let's
doing
do
that.
it.
Thank
Hey,
you.
who was that you reached out, up north somewhere to get him a job and all that in the VA system?
Yeah, I have.
Hey, he does it, it works, he's done it for me.
I have a veteran that just got out now too, you know, it's been a couple of years. He was dropped off up into, talking about Georgia. In North
Yeah,
Dakota, in North Dakota, in minus 39-degree weather, okay? Living in a homeless shelter. Found me on Facebook, guess what? He's down here in Arkansas, okay? And he's got a place to live, and he's got a job. And all I do, and he had that before he even got off the bus. Now that's what I do. That's what needs to be done.
That is a fraction of what Steve does. Golly.
Yeah.
Well, there is an outlet besides, you know, turning to the government. You know, a lot of the reason that we're in the trouble we are in today is because for me, for example, I focused on family and starting my business. Had my trust in that the government was being conducted by people that knew better than I did. And today we realize that government agencies are out of control. They're voting themselves pay raises. They're, you know, through every branch of government. It's unconstitutional, many actions that are being taken by the executive branch, etc. And so the only thing that we've been able to do effectively is doing things privately, you know, and through volunteer efforts. Now, one of the things that I discovered by volunteering, I showed up here and got on a campaign. I felt obligated I needed to do something because I hadn't been engaged. Well, then I met some people, and all of a sudden I didn't feel like I was such an outsider. And the more people I met, the more I felt like I belonged, the more I felt compelled I could do something. I actually started to collect phone numbers from different legislators and develop relationships with them. And this is how it's done, and this is how everyone here needs to do it. You know, if you're suffering as a veteran with issues, take this opportunity to be proactive privately, outside of the VA, work on an issue collectively, and we can combat this. We need to figure out what it is that we can do and win. And once we get a victory, we'll get more volunteers to step forward. It's a very small body of people that volunteer. And it's going to require people that do that. This whole meeting came off primarily because of Anton's efforts through phone calls and making arrangements for this sort of thing. And so this is how things happen, is by people that are not paid and feel there's a cause that we can do something about. So if we're going to be effective, if we're going to make the best of this meeting we had here today, we need to stay in touch with one another. And I'd really like I said, your cell phone numbers, so that I can send out announcements. LC did it too, but I can send out a text message reminding you of where our meeting location, what the topic is. But just because the topic doesn't fit VA issues, Clay may be here, Steve may be here visiting again, Anton is always here. You can come here and we start developing this network and we start to build, and we get a subcommittee going, if we wish, on a particular issue. And then the whole rest of us, we may not have been working on this subcommittee, but all of a sudden you have a petition that you want to get signed, and it looks like it could really go somewhere. Well, then you get the whole body of the Tea Party involved. We send out an email to all the people. We start getting people to go, yeah, that's something I can do. I can collect signatures. They may not be here tonight, but there are people that will be proactive and do something about this stuff. And so we need to think about something that we can actually succeed at doing.
Although you're a small voice, together we can fight this.
You're right.
Come to the meetings.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Get
Yes.
everybody in here, especially the ones that are professionally involved, get them together. When these politicians meet, wherever it's at, get them there. Because if you're just a veteran and say, well, I got this problem, you're just one voice, one incident. But when you got somebody professional there that says, listen, I've been doing this for 10 years, and this has been going on, bop, 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 bop. Okay? It's not just one person.
Yeah, there's no reason.
I've lost count. I have seriously lost count how
I'd like to say that
process.
we meet on the second Monday. The Washington County Tea Party meets on the second Monday of every month. We have a board meeting the first Monday, and it's a conference call is what we've been doing. So there's no reason we couldn't have other meetings or committees getting together and working on something. You get a network of people here, and Anton and Clay and Steve or whatever, they decide they're going to meet at Denny's or whatever on a Wednesday, pick a date. Well, they send the information to LC that we're going to be a subcommittee and work to try to get the Tea Party involved in this. You guys meet, go to Denny's, put together some sort of a plan. We can publish that plan through the 400 or whatever email addresses that we have. We can get more people involved. We'll announce it at the meetings, and we can offer support that way. We can also offer support because there are other Tea Parties nearby, Benton County. There's the River Valley Tea Party. There's the Boone County Tea Party. All within reach of this county here. It's not just that, but through the Tea Party Alliance, we can send out this message, broadcast it, and they can come to this committee. You guys came all the way from Jonesboro or whatever, you came out here. This can draw people that are more closer to the region and can actually be real effective and develop some real strength. We can also have a committee like this in the Jonesboro area. We have a lot of Tea Parties out in that area, Batesville and that sort of thing. And there's 4 or 5, maybe 6. There's a couple new ones about to start. They've got a real strong network out there that can band together and be effective. And we can do this, you know. Steve?
The main objective of this whole thing, make your representative accountable for everything he or she does. Because you're paying them.
We need to collect, if you're going to do that, you need to personally collect the phone numbers from these representatives. A lot of it's published on the website. Kathy?
I was just thinking, there, like, veterans organizations across the state and the country?
Sure there are.
I mean, we can
There's a
get,
Veterans of Foreign Wars or.
yeah.
You know, you guys may know of veterans, organizations.
Then there's,
And are they effective, or do they just get together and they complain? Because complaints, like we know in the Tea Party, have been doing this for a few years now, complaints go nowhere. And people quit coming to the Tea Party meeting because it may be largely complaints. When we get action and we get some things done, like we're gonna fight a tax, you get people to show up and you get signs out there, and we defeat the tax. We might get on the news, we might get on the radio, run radio ads. We defeat a tax, membership rises back up, the money pours in to pay for these signs. You get a cause and a goal that we believe can be effective, it will come. You get something that makes sense, I'll send out the word to every contact I have. You don't have to have all these phone numbers to these people. I've got a bunch of them. LC does. Anton does.
Well, the reason I was saying that was if you can get,
Talk louder, please.
if you can get veterans to write out what happened to them, you have a stack of letters telling, you know, what their problems have been. It's more effective than just signatures on a page. In addition to the signatures on a page, on a petition.
I think the petition would be maybe narrowed down to a particular thing that could make a significant improvement with the issues. And there's also, we could somehow collect complaints or what have you, especially if they're verifiable. But hearsay sort of things, if we don't have things that are based in fact, we're not going to be taken seriously. We'll be marginalized. And this happens all the time, especially in a public setting. If you have a congressman there and you're going to talk to your congressman in front of the whole crowd, and you're going to stand up and you're going to make a complaint, but you don't have verifiable sort of thing, it's like a bitch session. The congressman will embarrass you in front of the whole group. Then you're not going to gather volunteers around you to be supportive. So this needs to be serious. Serious fun too. We have a lot of fun getting to know one another, but we need to have serious things that we can actually take action on, and we can do stuff. We can be effective as a group.